Right Mind Malegaon verdict is a damning indictment of UPAs Saffron terror farce in the age of reels. It is flabbergasting to know that it took 17 years for truth to extricate itself from the suffocating grip of political machinations and shoddy investigations. On July 31, 2025, a special national investigation agency NIA court in Mumbai delivered a resounding verdict, acquitting all 7 accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast case Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Shrikant Purohit, Major Retd Ramesh Upadhyay, Sudhakar Chaturvedi, Sudhakar Dardwivedi, Ajay Rahirkar and Samir Kulkarni. These 7 hapless people, vilified as terrorists, endured nearly 2 decades of torment, their lives upended by a narrative that was as malicious as it was baseless. The court's ruling was not just a legal exoneration, it was a scathing rebuke of the United Progressive Alliance UPA regime's reckless and politically motivated pursuit of the so-called Hindu terror narrative. The 2008 Malegaon blast, which took 6 lives and injured over 100, was a tragedy that necessitated meticulous investigation and accountability. Instead, it became a political weapon bandied by the UPA to crush the looming Hindu renaissance, tarnish the image of Hindu organizations, and counter the rising tide of the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP). The Maharashtra Anti-Terrorism Squad (ATS), under the late Hemant Karkar, took no scourge in pointing fingers at Hindu nationalist groups, coining terms like Bhagwayat and Quad Saffron terror and Hindu terrorism. From P. Chidambaram to Prithviraj Chauhan to Digvijay Singh, Congress stalwarts tripped over themselves to peddle this narrative, painting the Hindu community as perpetrators of terror without a shred of credible evidence. The NIA court's verdict is unequivocal. There was no reliable and cogent evidence to sustain these charges, with forensic reports deemed inconclusive and witness statements riddled with contradictions. What's staggering is the sheer incompetence or perhaps deliberate malice of the investigation. For 9 years, no charge sheet was filed, leaving the accused languishing in systemic oblivion. The court reprimanded the ATS under Congress-ruled Maharashtra for botching on-the-spot evidence, with accusations of planted RDX traces and custodial torture surfacing repeatedly. Special Judge A.K. Lahoti observed that the prosecution failed to prove that the motorcycle allegedly used in the blast belonged to Sadhvi Pragya, as the chassis number was not fully recovered, and she had renounced material possessions years earlier. Similarly, claims that Lieutenant Colonel Purohit sourced RDX from Kashmir or assembled the bomb were dismissed in dearth of evidence. The ATS's case, built on preconceived notions and ideological motivations, collapsed under scrutiny. This wasn't just a legal failure, it was a grotesque political ploy. The Congress, sensing the BJP's growing prowess under Narendra Modi, then Gujarat's chief minister, saw an opportunity to polarize the Muslim vote bank. The Saffron terror theory was a carefully crafted mirage, designed to appease Muslim voters and consolidate the electorate. Though neither in the Maharashtra nor central government at the time, Digvijay Singh, a Congress heavyweight, claimed publicly that Hemant Karkar was updating him every half hour during the Malegaon investigation. Why would a senior police officer brief a politician with no official role? This only insinuates an insider syndicate of the cops and the Congress NIDAs working on a joint mission to realize a nefarious agenda. Further raising eyebrows over the Congress' conduct is the curious case of Parambir Singh, the former Mumbai police commissioner and a tainted cop now a fugitive. Singh, who served as ATS chief during the Mahavikas Aghadi MBA regime, a coalition including Congress and Shiv Sena UPAs, was reinstated despite allegations of corruption and extortion. His reinstatement under the MBA rule, only to later become a fugitive, fuels suspicion of a Congress police nexus in Maharashtra. Why was a controversial figure like Singh brought back? Does this point to a deeper, systemic manipulation of law enforcement for political ends? The Congress' obsession with the Saffron terror narrative is rooted in the Nehru Gandhivajra clan's long-standing strategy of Muslim appeasement. Yes, Gandhi, not Gandhi. The family's Parsi lineage is often obscured by their adopted surname. From Jawaharlal Nehru's supposed secular posturing to Rahul Gandhi's 2009 remark to a US ambassador that the RSS posed a bigger threat than Lashkar-Taiba, this dynasty has consistently prioritized vote consolidation over national unity. Robert Vadra's recent claim that the Pahalgam terror attack was linked to the BJP's Hindutva push is yet another example of this family's compulsion to exploit communal fault lines for electoral gain. The Malegaon case was no different. By branding Hindus as terrorists, the Congress sought to stoke fear among Muslims, positioning itself as their sole protector. The acquittal of Sadhvi Pragya, Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, and their co-accused is a moment of vindication, but it's also a moment of reckoning. The Congress narrative didn't just fail the accused, it failed the victims of the Malegaon blast, whose quest for justice remains unresolved. The court's ruling underscores a painful truth: while the UPA played its dangerous game of communal politics, the real perpetrators walked scot-free. Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde called it delayed justice. But the moot point here is, if justice ever be fully served when political agendas taint the process. BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad accused the Congress of a well-calculated conspiracy to frame innocents for vote bank politics, while Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis declared, "Atankwad bagway na kabhi tha, na kabhi rahega." Terrorism was never, Saffron is not, and will never be. The human toll of this travesty is staggering. Sadhvi Pragya, battling cancer and alleging custodial torture, endured years of stigma. Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, a serving military officer, faced accusations of betraying the nation he swore to protect. The other 5 suffered similar indignities. Their acquittal cannot erase the scars of a justice system manipulated by political expediency. The Congress owes them the Nation an apology, but don't hold your breath. The Malegaon verdict should compel us to confront the broader implications of such political slyness. The Congress Saffron terror gambit wasn't just about one case, it was about reshaping India's communal discourse to entrench division. By demonizing Hindus, the UPA sought to secure its electoral fortress, but at what cost? The erosion of trust in institutions, the vilification of an entire community, and the perpetuation of a divisive narrative that continues to haunt our polity. The trial saw 323 prosecution witnesses, 37 of whom turned hostile, and over 30 died before testifying, further exposing the fragility of the case. Former Bombay High Court Judge B.G. Patel called the acquittal a death of justice, but the real travesty was the UPAs' attempt to manufacture a myth at the expense of truth. As we reflect on this verdict, let's not forget the human cost and the systemic failures it exposes. Swipe left for next video. And readers, the answers lie with you. Will you demand a system where truth triumphs over political agendas, or will you let the shadows of appeasement linger? Latest blogs.